schon, dass du geboren bist. Wir hatten dich sonst sehr vermisst. Wie schön, dass wir beisammen sind. Wir gratulieren dir, wish das sind. Wie schön, dass du geboren bist. Wir hatten dich sonst sehr vermisst. Wie schön, dass wir beisammen sind. Wir gratulieren dir, wish das sind. Wie schön, dass du geboren bist. Wir hatten dich sonst sehr vermisst. Wie schön, dass wir zusammen sind. Wir gratulieren dir, wish das sind. Wie schön, dass du geboren bist. Wir hatten dich sonst sehr vermisst.
This is too long, Mother. Why did you make it so long?
I'm 14 years old today.
I don't want to be 14 if it means wearing a dress as long as this.
It isn't too long, Vindler. What do you expect? It's not my fault if my daughter is 2 inches taller with each spring. You're a big girl now. You can't always be running around in your little princess frock.
But it suits me so much better than this baggy nightshirt. Please, Mother, just let me wear this one a little while longer. Just this summer. Keep this piece of sackcloth for my next birthday. I'll only step on the braid and tear it.
I don't know what to say. I'd love to keep you just the way you are. Other girls are so gangly and awkward at your age. You're the opposite. I wonder what you'll be like when the others have developed.
Who knows? Perhaps I won't be here at all.
Vindler, don't put such thoughts into your head.
Oh, don't, Mother. Don't be sad.
They're precious.
These thoughts, they creep up on me at night when I can't sleep. They don't upset me at all, and I know I'll sleep that much better for them. Mother, is it sinful to think such things?
Go and hang your sackcloth up in your wardrobe. You can stay in your little princess frock a little bit longer if you must. I'll have your style clouts around the bottom when I have time.
Oh, no!
Just so you don't catch a chill.
Now, when summer's coming. Mother, nobody catches diphtheria in their knees. Why do you worry so? Girls don't even feel the cold at my age, especially not in their legs. Or would you rather I was too hot instead? Be thankful your precious doesn't cut off the sleeves and walk around all day with no shoes or stockings on. When it's time to wear this sackcloth, I'm going to dress like a fairy queen underneath. Oh, don't be cross, Mother. Nobody's going to see it.
Melchior! Forrest! Hans! Vince! Hans! Forrest! Vince!
Now, this game is boring. I've had enough.
Well, we might as well stop then.
Have you done your homework, Melchior?
Why don't you carry on?
Where are you going?
For a walk.
It's getting dark.
Have you done your homework?
Why can't I go for a walk in the dark?
Central America, Louis XV, 60 verses of Homer, and 7 equations.
Bloody homework.
It'd be fine if we didn't have that Latin composition due tomorrow.
Can't think of anything without homework getting in the way.
Yeah, well, I'm going home.
Me too. Gotta do that homework.
Yeah, same here.
Good night, Melchior.
Good night. Sleep well. Can anyone tell me why we actually exist?
You know, I'd rather be a cart horse than a schoolboy. Why do we go to school? To sit exams. And why do we sit exams? So we can fail. We'll have to fail, 7 of us. The upper classroom only holds 60. Damn it. If it wasn't for my father, I'd pack my bags and emigrate to America.
Oh, let's talk about something else.
You see that black cat with its tail in the air?
Do you believe in omens?
I'm not sure. It came from over there. Don't suppose it means anything.
We sailed the narrow strait between Scylla and Charybdis, between the rocks of religious delusion and the whirlpool of superstition. Let's sit down under this beech tree.
It's getting dark. I can hardly see you. Melchior, do you agree that a human being's sense of shame is just a product of his education?
You know, I was thinking about that just the other day. Seems to me it's deeply rooted in human nature.
If I have children, I'd let them sleep in the same room, boys and girls, perhaps in the same bed from an early age. I'd let them help each other dress in the morning and undress in the evening. I think if they grew up like that, they'd be less uptight than we are.
You know, I think you're right, Moritz. But the problem is, what if the girls get pregnant?
Why should they get pregnant?
You see, I believe in a certain instinct on these matters. If you take two cats, a Tom and a female, and lock them up together from early age so they only have their instincts and shield them from all contact with the outside world, the female will still get pregnant sooner or later, even without other cats to show them what to do.
With animals, it just happens, doesn't it?
So why not with humans? Come on, Moritz. If your boys sleep in the same bed as the girls, and all of a sudden they feel the first stirrings of manhood and willing to
You
bet,
may be right. Nevertheless,
and the same applies to girls of the same age. Not that a girl actually, you can't really tell, can you? But we can assure them curiosity would do the rest.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Will you give me an honest answer?
cross my heart.
Really?
Yes, Moritz.
Have you finished your Latin composition?
Come on, spit it out. No one can hear us.
Of course, my children would have to work during the day or play games that are physically strenuous. And they certainly wouldn't sleep on soft mattresses at night as we do. We're terribly effeminate. I'm sure you don't have dreams on a hard bed.
My bed runs up behind the stove. From now until Christmas, I'm sleeping in a hammock. Last winter, I dreamed that I beat our dog over and over again until he stopped moving. That was the most terrible dream I've ever had. Why are you staring at me like that, Moritz?
Have you felt them yet?
About what?
What did you call it?
Stirrings of manhood? And how?
Me too.
I have done for quite some time now. Almost a year.
It hit me like a bolt of lightning.
Were you having a dream?
It was just a short one. About legs and bright blue stockings climbing over the teacher's desk. I only saw them for a moment. If you knew what I've been through since that night.
Feelings of guilt?
No, more than guilt. Mortal terror.
God almighty.
I thought I was incurable. That I was suffering from some deep-rooted disease. I only calmed down when I started writing my memoirs. You know, Melchior, these last 3 weeks have been my garden of death.
I was more or less expecting it. I was a bit embarrassed. That's all.
And to think you're almost a year younger than I am.
Oh, I wouldn't mind, Moritz. In my experience, there's no set age for these manifestations.
It's a strange game they play with us. And yet we're supposed to be grateful. I can't ever remember wanting to feel such excitement. Why couldn't I be left in peace? My parents could have had much more suitable children than me. God knows how or why. I came along, and I feel as though I owe you an apology. Have you ever wondered, Melchior, how we actually arrived in this madhouse?
You mean you don't know, Moritz?
How could I? I see that eggs lay eggs. I'm told my mother carried me in her womb. I also notice I can hardly speak to a girl now without thinking, well, something disgusting, but I swear to you, Melchior, I don't know what.
Oh, come on, I'll tell you everything.
I've been through the encyclopedia, from A to Z. Words, nothing but words and words, not one single plain explanation. Oh, this terrible feeling of shame. What good is an encyclopedia that won't answer the most important question in life? I've
Been through the encyclopedia from A to Z. Words, nothing but words and words. Not one single plain explanation. Oh, the terrible feeling of shame. What good is an encyclopedia that won't answer the most important question in life? I've been through the encyclopedia from A to Z. Words, nothing but words and words. Not one single plain explanation. Oh, this terrible feeling of shame. What good is an encyclopedia that won't answer the most important question in life? I've been through the encyclopedia from A to Z. Words, nothing but words and words. Not one single plain explanation. Oh, this terrible feeling of shame.
What good is an encyclopedia that won't answer the most important question in life? Have you ever watched Dogs in the Street?
Don't tell me anything now. I still have to do my homework. I can only swat with a clear head.
Why don't you come home with me? In less than an hour, I'll have finished the Homer, the equations, and 2 compositions. I'll smuggle a few harmless mistakes into yours. Mother will mix us some lemonade, and we'll have a nice cozy chat about reproduction.
Can't have a nice cozy chat about reproduction. Do me a favour, write down everything you know. Keep it as simple as you can, and then slip it into one of my books.
You're like a girl, Moritz. If that's what you want, it'll be an interesting challenge. One question though. Have you ever seen a girl?
Yes.
I mean, all of her.
Everything.
Me too. Then illustrations won't be necessary.
At the Fairground Anatomical Museum. If the school had found out, I'd probably have been expelled. She was beautiful as a summer's day, and so lifelike.
I was with my mother in Frankfurt last summer. Are you going already, Moritz?
Homework. Good night.
Good night.
Let's go down to the bridge. I hear whole trees and bushes have been swept away by the flood. The boys have built a raft. I heard Milky Gabor almost drowned last night.
But he's such a good swimmer.
Of course he is. If he wasn't a good swimmer, he'd definitely have drowned.
Your plat's coming undone, Martha.
Who cares? It drives me mad. I'm not allowed to cut my hair short. I'm not allowed to wear it loose like Venla. I'm not allowed to have a fringe. Even at home, I have to keep it in a plait to please my aunts.
I'll bring a pair of scissors into religion tomorrow, and while you recite,
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
I'll cut it off.
For heaven's sake, Venla, Father will beat me black and blue, and Mother will lock me in the coal cellar.
What does he beat you with, Martha?
You know, I think they'd feel cheated if they didn't have a misfit like me to pick on.
Martha!
Are you allowed to thread a light blue ribbon through the top of your nightdress?
Pink satin. Mother says pink goes best with my eyes.
Blue suits me. But Mother grabbed me by the ear when she saw it, pulled me out to bed. I landed on the floor on my knees. Mother prays with us every night, you see.
If I were you, I'd have run away long ago.
So that's what you're up to, she says.
We'll see about that, my girl. At least you won't be able to blame your mother when something goes wrong.
Well, I never.
Do you know what she meant by that, Taya?
No idea. What about you, Venla?
I would have asked her.
I'm lying there, sobbing my heart out. And then Father arrives, takes off my nightdress and shuts me out the door.
There you are.
He says,
Why don't you go out into the street like that?
That isn't
That isn't true, Martha.
it was freezing outside. So I went back in. They made me sleep all night in a sack.
I could never ever sleep in a sack.
I'd love to take your place, Martha, and sleep in your sack for one night.
It wasn't for the beatings.
Don't you suffocate in a sack?
Your head's free. They tie it under your chin.
And then they beat you?
No, I Only for visual transgressions.
What do they beat you with, Martha?
I don't know, all kinds of things. Does your mother think it's vulgar to eat bread in bed?
No, of course not.
I really think, deep down inside,
They enjoy it.
though they'll never admit it. When I have children, I'll let them grow like weeds in our garden. Nobody pays any attention to them, yet they've grown so tall, so strong. But our roses, which are carefully trained and pruned, look more miserable every summer.
If I ever have children, I'll dress them all in pink. Pink, 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 pink,
Pink.
pink, pink. And when I go out for a walk, they'll all have to march in front of me. Oh, 1, 2. What about you, Bella?
How do you know you have any children?
Why shouldn't I?
My auntie Euphemia hasn't any.
That's because she isn't
Married, silly.
My Aunt Bower was married 3 times and has never had a child.
You would have children, Venla. What would you prefer, boys or girls?
Boys.
Boys, 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 boys.
Me too. I'd rather have 20 boys than 3 girls.
Girls are boring.
If I wasn't a girl already, I certainly would not want to be one now.
I think it's a matter of taste. I feel happy every day that I'm a girl. I wouldn't even swap with the prince.
But I still only want boys.
You're talking nonsense, Venla. That's a nonsense.
Come on, it must be 1,000 times more uplifting to be loved by a man than by a girl.
Are you proud of what you are, Venla?
That would be silly, wouldn't it?
I'd be proud if I were you.
Just look at the way she walks, her little gaze, the way she holds herself.
If that isn't pride.
And why not? I'm happy to be a girl. If I wasn't, I would kill myself. But
The shape of his head is wonderful.
That's how I imagine the young Alexander when he goes to his lessons with Aristotle.
God, Greek history.
he's supposed to be the 3rd best in his class.
His schoolmaster says he'd be the best if he tried harder.
He has a beautiful forehead, but his friend, Moritz Stiefel, has more soulful eyes.
Moritz Stiefel, what a sleepyhead.
I always found him easy to talk to.
He embarrasses you whenever you talk to him.
You know, Melky Gabor told me he didn't believe in anything. Not in God, not in life after death, not in anything in the world.
Have you never seen Moritz Stiefel?
You don't want to know.
My lips are sealed.
Same here.
Will someone please tell me where he is?
Alright, he broke into the staff room.
I passed! Melchior, I passed!
And it's Roble path.
Yes, he passed too. They'll still have to fail one of us. Poor Ernst.
I bet you 5 marks that it'll be you.
You don't have any money. I wouldn't want to rob you. God in heaven. If I hadn't passed, I would have shot myself.
I'll clip you around the ear.
Coward.
Bastard.
Don't listen to them, Moritz.
Shoot yourself? I'd like to see you try.
Ignore them, Moritz. Come on, let's go. Was it really you?
Yes, it's me.
If I didn't know you were Schwindler Bergman, I would say you're a wood nymph that's fallen out of the branches.
No, it's just been the Bergman. What brings you up here?
I've been following my train of thought.
Well, I'm looking for Woodruff. Mother needs it for his summer wine. She was going to come with me, but then my aunt arrived and she can't manage to climb. So here I am alone.
Have you found any?
My whole basket's full. It grows plentiful by those beech trees over there. But now I'm looking for a way out of here. I seem to be lost. What time is it?
Just gone 3:30. What time are you expected home?
Oh, I thought it was later. I lay under the beech trees for ages, just dreaming. I was afraid it was almost evening.
Well, if you're not expected home yet, why don't we stay here for a while? This is my favourite spot. If you lean back and gaze up to the branches of the sky, you can go into a kind of trance. I've been meaning to ask you something for ages, Vendler.
Well, I have to be back before 5.
We'll go together. If I carry a basket, we can cut through the old river bed and be at the bridge in 10 minutes.
What did you want to ask me, Melchior?
I hear that you often visit the poor. You take them food and clothes and sometimes money. Do you do that of your own volition, or does your mother send you?
Mostly Mother sends me. They're poor day labourers who often can't find work, so they freeze and they starve. Why do you want to know?
And when your mother sends you, do you go willingly or not?
I love going. How could you ask me that?
But the children are dirty, the women are ill, the men hate you because you don't have to work.
That isn't true, Melchior. And even if it were, I'd go all the more willingly.
Why all the more?
It would give me even greater pleasure to be able to help them.
So you visit the poor because it gives you pleasure.
I visit them because they're poor.
And as a reward, you go to heaven. So I'm right, aren't I? This has been bothering me for ages. Pastor, he put me onto it. He's always blathering on about the joyous self-sacrifice. There's no such thing as selflessness or self-sacrifice. What were you dreaming about, Vendler, when you were lying in the grass?
Just silly things.
With your eyes wide open?
I dreamt I was a poor beggar child who was sent out to beg every day in howling wind and rain amongst cold-hearted and brutal people. I'd come home every night shivering from cold, hunger and fear, and when I hadn't collected as much money as my father expected, I was beaten.
I know where you get this from, Vendler. From stupid children's stories. Believe me, people as brutal as that no longer exist.
Well, yes they do, Melchior, you're wrong about that. Martha Beezel is beaten every night. She suffers terribly, you can see the welts on her the next day. I go hot and cold all over whenever she talks about it. I've been thinking for months of ways to help her. I'd gladly take her place for a week.
Her father should be reported. Then they take her away from him.
I've never been beaten in my life, Melchior. Not once. I've sometimes tried beating myself to find out what it feels like. It must be a horrible feeling.
I don't believe any child has ever been beaten for it.
For what?
Being beaten.
With the switch, for example. Look how tough and springy it is.
That would draw blood.
Wouldn't you like to beat me with it? Just once?
Beat who?
Well, me.
What are you talking about, Vendler?
Well, I'm just asking you to.
Are you crazy?
I'm giving you permission, Melchior.
You can't ask me to do something like this.
I've never been beaten in my entire life.
This'll teach you.
For goodness sake, I didn't feel a thing.
Of course not. With all those skirts you're wearing.
Well, then hit me on the legs.
Vendler!
You're stroking me! You're stroking me!
Just you wait, you witch. I'll beat the devil out of you.
up again now. I'm just a bit on edge. But I slept through ancient history. I'm surprised old Bluebottle didn't pinch my ears. I was nearly late again this morning. My first thought when I woke up was the irregular verbs. Helen damnation. I conjugated all through breakfast and on my way to school until my head was swimming. I must have nodded off around 3 in the morning. When Matilda woke me, my lamp was still smoking, and there was a huge ink blot on my book where I dropped my pen. The blackbirds beneath my window were singing so merrily, it immediately made me feel miserable again. But do you feel as though you've conquered something inside you?
Shall I roll you a cigarette?
Thanks, I don't smoke. The important thing is to keep up the momentum. I'll work and work until my eyes pop out of my head. Ernst has failed to answer a question 6 times this term. I've only been caught out 5 times. And after today, it'll never happen again. Ernst would never shoot himself. Ernst doesn't have parents who sacrificed everything for him. He could run away if he wanted to. If I fail, my father will have a seizure and my mother will end in the loony bin.
Life is full of interesting surprises. Some days I feel like hanging myself from a tree. What's keeping Mother with the tea?
Your tea will do me good. I'm shaking, Melchior. I feel slightly unhinged. I see, hear, and feel everything so much more intensely, but as if it's all in a dream. It's amazing how your garden expands in the evening light. How peaceful it is. Infinite. I see diaphanous creatures emerge from the bushes, flit breathlessly through the glade, and vanish into the twilight.
When he's not there, it's like the grave. If I go to the window, I'm looking for him. His tall figure, his walk, his smile, his piercing gaze, his magic words, the feel of his hands. Oh, just to take him, and just to hold him, and kiss him the way I'd like, though I die of the kissing.
I'm sure there's a conference going on under that chestnut tree. Shall we join them, Melchior?
Not until we've had tea.
Can you hear what the leaves are whispering? Sounds like my grandmother back from the dead to tell me a bedtime story. Once she told me about a king with 2 heads and a queen with no head. And the king gave the queen a head and they married and lived happily ever after.